Could I buy it myself for $5 million without even having you involved?
Wait,
Guys, I'm sorry.
So guys, you got an offer from $500,000 for 50%, or an offer...
It's not executional risk. You have to be acquired by a strategic. You're in the Neverland. You're in a place where...
I really didn't like your answer to Mark.
I'll do the 3%, because that's exactly what you're worth right now.
So
But
it's
also, too, is there two different attachment hoses?
Side.
You set a timer, so you can cool it down for 10 minutes, it turns itself off.
Yeah.
Which are variable depending on whether you're heating or cooling.
People thought, what could a Post-it note be? All of Staples. We're going to be like the operating system.
Number 9, Kodiak Cakes. The co-founder and chief operating officer of the natural food company Kodiak Cakes, Joel Clark, appeared on the show in search of an investment of $500,000 in exchange for a 10% stake in the business. Kodiak Cakes is a producer of alternative breakfast foods that are rich in protein and whole grains. Despite the fact that they all enjoyed the flavor and appreciated the health benefits of these pancake combinations, however, none of the sharks agreed with the valuation that was presented. It currently boasts annual sales of $160 million thanks to its comprehensive product line, which includes microwavable flapjack cups, oats, granola bars, graham crackers, protein balls, and granola bars.
A question I don't think you considered. I think because it's getting into my interest range again. No, wait.
Why do I always have to listen to you all day long? Don't tell me to shut up.
I'm doing it right now. If you're lucky in this market, could I buy it myself for $5 million without even having you involved?
Wait,
Guys, I'm sorry.
So guys, you got an offer from $500,000 for 50%, or an offer...
Well, you guys, thank you. I mean, we do appreciate the offers, way beyond what you've said. We need to decline the offer, to turn it down, but we really, really appreciate it. We really do.
I do, too.
Number 8, the Books Company. The delivery of flowers using the internet, the Books Company departed the tank without making an investment in 2014, but Robert Hryevek recalled them when he was planning the floral arrangements for his wedding 3 years later. After witnessing firsthand how such stunning arrangements are created, Hryevek ultimately took the decision to invest. According to John Tabas, who also served as CEO of the company, there were multiple days in 2017 when the company sold a total of $1 million worth of flowers in a single day. Since then, it has successfully completed investments rounds totaling $88 million, one of which was a $30 million deal at the beginning of 2020.
Yeah, but it's a flower business.
The thing that I saw is different.
What's his angle, Tom?
That's it. No added charges. You can upgrade for $10 to a $50 bouquet. All your competition can do exactly what you said.
I have a challenge with that.
It's not executional risk. You have to be acquired by a strategic. You're in the Neverland. You're in a place where against the commodity other than to tell. But I think you may die of old age waiting to exit. But there's another problem. If I want to send flowers to your grave, I have to wait 6 days.
Number 7, Copa di Vino. Vintner James Martin made a name for himself on the second season of Shark Tank by pitching the idea of putting wine in plastic bottles that could be used for a single serving. None of his prospective investors took him up on his offer of a 30% ownership stake in exchange for an investment of $600,000. It would appear that the sharks were more interested in Martin's container than the wine itself. Despite a rare second round in the tank during Season 3 as a result of his outstanding achievement, Martin was never able to reach a deal with the show's backers that would allow the show to continue. The fact that the winemaker was aware of his product's popularity contributed to the impression that he was arrogant. Copa di Vino has continued to be successful, and it currently earns $3.5 million every year despite not having the sharks battling for it.
While weeping over the missed opportunity, I ask all, take a second look at Copa di Vino. That's opportunity knocking.
I'll do the 3%, because that's exactly what you're worth right now.
Done by experts.
You know as well as we all do that I'm just telling you, James,
Really out. I mean, you just came here to waste our time.
Number 6, Hammer and Nails. The Sharks did not approve of Michael Elliott's plan to put the man in a manicure, despite the fact that he had been invited to the tank just 5 weeks after opening his first store. He asked in all seriousness for a financial contribution of $200,000 in exchange for a 20% ownership stake in the Hammer and Nails salon business. Elliott estimates the value of his company to be $1 million in 2014. However, angel investors who had been watching the event had decided to participate once the sharks abstained from biting the contestant. The booming Hammer and Nails chain has expanded to the point where it was worth $100 million by the middle of 2017, having risen from an original investment of $200,000. By 2021, they announced that their revenue had increased by 270% in comparison to the years prior.
I don't think that I could even judge whether or not this business would make me my money back.
I mean, I really do. I mean, I'm sitting here and thinking, what? I really didn't like your answer to Mark.
They have a bar applicate for a franchise owner.
Good luck, Michael. Consider it.
Yeah, good luck.
Congrats on your successes.
Thank you. And thank you.
Number 5. BedJet. Mark Aramli and his BedJet were ejected from his fantasy world in 2015 as a result of rejection from all 5 sharks. 2 years later, Aramli brought the issue up to HubSpot over the company's disapproval of his quick cooling fan equipment for placing under the bedsheets. He said they looked down on both him and his merchandise. They told him that the BedJet would never be wanted by anyone in the history of the world.
My side is hot. I feel
Yeah, I mean, it's
hot
cool.
air,
It
right?
feels good on my feet, but single zones, right? Just
Single zone, we do
Okay, so
sending-
that just pops on the edge of the bed and it just blows out cold or hot air.
He likes it hot, she likes it cool. There's always a fight. The BedJet has dual zone.
Is that a water mattress you have there?
No, we are just sending air into the bed, so it gives. We have a nozzle here. If we're gonna do dual zone, we plug
So
it
there's
into
a
this.
special sheet.
Nonetheless, the allegations made by the sharks should not be taken as gospel. Aramli used funds from his own savings, credit card debt, and the equity in his home to make an investment in himself. Sales had climbed by 300% by the end of 2016 compared to the previous year, and they increased by an additional 100% in 2017. The business has achieved cumulative sales of more than $30 million to this point, and as a result, it now brings in approximately $5 million in revenue per year.
50% of couples side.
You set a timer so you can
Okay.
But
It's a-
also, too, is there 2 different attachments?
So
cool
we
it down
have.
for 10 minutes, it turns itself off.
Yeah.
Please.
Do they?
Mark, ignore him.
Sorry, Lori. It's hard to keep up with all the questions.
I believed it, but I don't amount.
Would have answered back.
I go through a list of retailers.
I throw all out, Mark. When I asked about the technology, you kept on selling. I just don't.
You mentioned clearly that this is intended, targeted to the premium mattress buyer.
Number 4. Rocketbook. The Shark Tank pitch that was given by Rocketbook was nothing short of absurd. The co-founders of the company, Jack Epstein and Joe LeMay, participated in the conversation by bringing a notebook that was compatible with smartphones and featured fast cloud sharing capabilities, as well as pages that could be sterilized for reuse by heating the notebook in a microwave. Although the idea might have been too revolutionary for the sharks to consider at the time, the customers appear to enjoy it very much. After receiving funding of $1.2 million through Indiegogo, the first version of Rocketbook went on to become a bestseller on Amazon. They had net sales of $32 million in 2020, which was a 35% increase from 2019's total revenues of $27 million.
Like, a notebook is a
By
notebook.
the way, you can buy a $1.20 book is now 20.
I think the price is bad for what it is. I don't like all the steps.
People thought, what could a Post-it note be? All of Staples. We're going to be like the operating
Post-it note,
system
all
for
you have to
paper.
do is-
digitally enabled.
Thank you.
Unbelievable.
Oh my God.
Number 3. Doorbot or Ring. In 2013, Jamie Siminoff made her debut on the hit television show Shark Tank. His original idea was to combine a doorbell and a camera into a single device that would allow users to see and interact with guests without ever having to open the front door. Since all of the judges except for one declared that this plan was unsuccessful, Siminoff turned down the one financing offer that he did receive. But this does not mark the conclusion of the story. A remarkable turn of events led to Doorbot changing its name to Ring, and the company went on to become a multi-billion-dollar industry leader. Amazon paid a total of $1 billion to purchase Ring in the future. This turned out to be one of the most significant opportunities that was passed up in the history of Shark Tank.
The door before you let me in. With my product, you can. My name is Jamie Siminoff. Consumers are currently spending billions of dollars. However, one of the most not have any direct competitors. When I say direct, we're from that. You can just see who's there.
How much
Which
does your
now
competition cost?
the lowest priced camera would be 50 to 100.
Number 2. Coat Checks. The founder of Coat Checks, Derek Pack, had the intention of bringing a more contemporary approach to the practice of coat checking at restaurants and events. Instead of depending on paper tickets, which can easily be lost, he suggested using facial recognition technology to streamline the process. This would eliminate the need for paper tickets. Pack was unable to satisfy Judge Mark Cuban's requirement that he have at least a 33% ownership stake in the company before he would make an investment. Despite departing without any investors, Coat Checks expanded, changed its name to Chexology, and is now working with notable clients such as the Museum of Modern Art and the Barclay Center.
Go ahead and call your business partner.
so much.
A 600,000 valuation.
If it does what it says it does.
You know, we haven't proven anything. We're here really early.
And what we haven't discussed yet is that in big cities where they caught,
Mark, you're valuing the Shark Tank kids. Don't do this.
Listen, Mark, I'm from Pittsburgh. You're from Pittsburgh. Love to work with you. I want to prove to you guys, turn into a $2 million company.
What are you?
That is the valuation of the company. Bit a little bit more. Whoa. Prove it to you.
Your turn was $250,000.
Number 1, Coffee Meets Bagel. Coffee Meets Bagel is actually a dating app, despite the fact that its name makes it sound like the newest trend in the hipster brunch scene. Mark Cuban has shown love for Coffee Meets Bagel, a company that was founded by 3 sisters. Cuban has gone so far as to make an offer to purchase the company for $30 million. Because they did not wish to sell the business, the sisters went door to door and collected a total of $23 million on their own. What can we learn from this story? Those in business, be aware of your worth. Investors, like everyone else, engage in reasonable bargaining.
At 5%, one of the problems for me now in Shark Tank is I've come to realize I'm really valuable, big time. And it's made me, I don't do 5% deals. That's worthless to me.
If we really thought this would feel like a piece of meat in a meat locker. Exactly. They looked over, they don't, you know, it's almost insulting. And I like all of that, but I'll tell you what I don't like. A break even, and that's spooky. Doesn't seem like enough upside. So for those reasons, I'm out.
if I offered you $30 million for the company, would you take it? Okay.
I would not be taking it because growing as big as Match.com, 800 million a year. They're becoming, we think this model and the product has potential.
$30 million and you didn't.
The newer ephemeral version of Hot or Not. But I don't know how protectable that is. The risk reward is there for me and for those reasons.
That's all for today, folks. We'll see you all soon.